When the future looks uncertain, our survival instinct tells us to hold on tight. Society suggests we should aggressively preserve every resource we have, saving every penny and enduring our hardships with quiet, solemn resilience. One grandfather in a small village followed this advice perfectly. He hid his meager earnings in a glass jar under his bed, believing that by locking his coins away, he was building a safe harbor for his family. But this strategy has a systemic flaw. While the coins in the jar remained static, the cost of basic goods, shown here by the rising line graph, spikes sharply. Inflation silently eroded his purchasing power, leaving a massive gap between his savings and his survival. This logic of preservation also applies to our emotional lives. In ancient Chinese folklore, we see villagers who viewed life as a heavy burden to be endured. They hoarded their joy and protected their energy by remaining stoic and unmoving, even in the face of beauty. This reveals the core paradox. Whether you are hoarding physical currency or emotional energy, static preservation in a moving world guarantees decay. Like holding water in your hands, the tighter you squeeze, the more you lose. When the grandfather realized his savings were dying, he changed his approach. He took the remaining money from his jar and bought a few thin chickens. This was the shift from hoarding currency to owning a productive asset. While a coin sits idle, a productive asset actively creates new value every single day. He triggered a compounding loop. The chickens lay eggs, the eggs are sold for capital, and that capital is used to buy more chickens. As the cycle illuminates, the process accelerates, creating a self-sustaining engine of growth. This loop generates an exponential curve. While inflation rises linearly, this active compounding engine breaks through the threshold of the cost of living. The grandfather had transitioned from a consumer at the mercy of market prices to a producer who owned his own supply. By establishing this repeatable system, he created a reliable path toward long-term autonomy. Financial safety is rarely found in a vault. It is built through systems of continuous, active generation. We see a spiritual version of this engine in the story of the three laughing monks. They traveled from village to village, standing in the center of crowded squares without saying a word. Instead of preaching or suffering solemnly, they simply stood still and began to laugh. They generated a warmth that was entirely natural and deeply contagious. Their laughter functioned as a generative investment. They acted as central nodes in a network, sending pulses along connecting lines until the entire village was illuminated by joy. They were not waiting for happiness, they were producing it. The strength of this engine was tested when one of the monks died. The villagers expected the remaining two to stop their laughter and revert to the default script of mourning and sadness. The monks refused. They laughed even harder, explaining that their brother had won a bet on who would die first. Even in the face of death, they kept their joy engine running. The deceased monk had hidden fireworks in his clothes. When the funeral pyre was lit, hundreds of colors burst into the sky. He had used his own death to trigger one final moment of collective laughter. The monks treated joy exactly as the grandfather treated his chickens, as a compounding asset to be deployed specifically when life becomes heavy. Unspent coins in a jar and unshed tears of a mourning village represent the same tragedy, the hoarding of finite resources. Both strategies assume that safety is found in remaining static. Abundance functions as an active engine. Interlocking gears expand outward, generating new growth rather than sheltering what remains in a shrinking box. Building this engine requires risk, spending coins for chickens, or finding joy in tragedy. But once kickstarted, this momentum becomes completely self-sustaining. Audit your own life today. Identify the places where you are simply holding water, hoping your resources will last, instead of building a system to grow them. Stop merely enduring the world. Start generating. By focusing on active growth, you become the architect of your own compounding future.